my crowd. He has a new special coming out on Netflix May 17th called World War III. Please give it up for Emmy-winning comedian Katt. Make an old nigga jump. Yes. Yes. Dude, look at all the people that come to see you. Some funny, some not funny. They all love you.
Yes, and I them.
Yes, yes. You know what? Here's something we've never talked about. We're both Buckeyes.
Indeed, indeed.
You have any memories of Ohio?
Yes, only memories of Ohio. It prepared me so well for entertainment. I think it does that for everybody that's entertainment from there. Isn't Jonathan Winters from there? Ohio is like a place where you can't really be racist unless you really, really try. Because your neighbor on the left is black and the neighbor right here is white. And that's how you grow up. And if you grow up like that, it's a very difficult process for you to end up racist. Ohio was good for me like that. I think it's just a rarefied place if you're trying to be a creative.
Yeah. You ever been back, or do you go to Chappelle's spot? That's in Ohio.
My grandmother's spot took precedence over Chappelle's farm, but because she stayed right outside UD Arena and Dayton. I was born in Cincinnati but raised in Dayton, but there aren't really any bad places of Ohio. It's a great state. It's got everything you could want.
Yes. Yeah. Now, what kind of stuff are you doing now? Where are you in your comedy progression?
Well, this is special number 12. So the baker's dozen,
Yes, sir.
just more than any comedian dead or alive. That's all. But who's counting stats and whatnot? But no, it's been this conversation since '95, and each special is just me picking up this conversation. So if I made a mistake in one, then 2 specials later, you'll see that I've changed my conversation about that particular thing because of growth. And the audience has allowed me just to continue this open dialogue. And now that we're getting to a space where free speech is under attack, and it's really the dark ages come back. It's just a privilege to have a job where you can talk for a living and share your thought process. So I'm really excited.
So let's talk about that area. I have been waiting to hear what you think about all the bullshit. And how we are under attack right now, and no one seems to give a fuck about us.
Well, I named it World War III 9.5 months ago. So that's before Russia and Ukraine. But if you've looked at enough history, you understand that everything works in a cycle. And so you don't have to wonder where things are going. You just have to figure out where you are in the cycle, and that cycle continues to replay itself. So for our group, we're just, our original, my ancestors' original religion was math and science. So, trying to go back to the old religion and incorporate that in the conversation. I'm not going to probably be the greatest comedian once I'm gone, but I will be the one that had the most original conversation, just because not because of me, but because my fan base allows me to have that conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a blessing to be able to be wrong and to be able to make mistakes and to be able to not have the right answers and not have the press and marketing that guarantees success. There's something to be said about all that. And for me, like, I'm not in competition anywhere. Like, I'm really the guy that 6-year-old me was trying to be. Like, I've really nailed that. So, fortunately, I wasn't that specific. Just be successful and live. Yeah.
Um, so I hit comedy clubs sometime and I watch guys working on their next special,
Yeah.
getting their material right. I never see you in a club, but then you have an hour that's on fire. Do you work in your house? How do you get right?
Yeah. So I didn't get any shortcuts. So for the first 10, 15 years, I had to do what every stand up has to do and go to the clubs and work out your material. But I just, it got to the point where I'm asking other comedians to not do things that maybe they would want to do. So it's not really fair if I show you something and say, don't look at it. So I don't do any practicing in clubs. I do it all
In
on.
arenas?
I the level of trust is on Steph Curry. So if it doesn't mean that you make all of your shots, it means your intention is to make all of your shots. I'm not making this shot because I haven't made this shot before. I'm making this shot because I have made this shot before. So it's that trust and the trust of the audience. And we're in a relationship. So I don't have to go and see if we're still in a relationship and get it ready. I can organically trust that this is the conversation that we're having because we need to have it. So it's not always pleasant. Like, I don't want to talk about race and politics and stuff, but that keeps happening. And it just keeps being presented in a new way. And so, critical race theory wasn't a thing 10 years ago, but it is now. And
Yeah, it is now because of the Trump era and also Biden era too, right? With regards to what William says, that's very true. He has a relationship with his audience, so he doesn't need to like go in and check in and say, "Hey, do you have a relationship with my audience?" Whenever he has a special, the audience will always come. So he has a relationship with them.
overturning Roe versus Wade was unthinkable 20 years ago. And now it is upon us. So that always keeps a fresh dialogue with the people that I know that think how I think and are going through the things I'm going through. That's the sharing process. But you,
A lot of people don't give a fuck about Hollywood's trophies, or some people pretend they don't.
I mean, he got the Holloway trophies at his special in the Pim Chronicle special. I don't know if you guys watched the Pim Chronicle special where Cat Williams made people went crazily with laughing. And if you guys listen to what he said earlier, he said before Russia and Ukraine, right? He also that means before Chris Rock and Will Smith Oscar slap. So if you go deep down into it, you really understand that he mentioned that. For some reason, when we post videos about Will Smith and Chris Rock Oscar slap, they take it down so much. So, but this one really specifies a lot about Cal Williams talking about Ukraine and Russia, which means before Chris Rock and Will Smith Oscar slap. And look at Arsenal Hall, man. How old is this guy? He's 66, but it looks like he's still in his 20s. He doesn't age at all. Call him the vampire of coming to America. Yeah, thank you guys for watching this.